Hello everyone. So here I have in front of me a piece of nostalgia that has seeped into our present. So this is the PlayStation 4 that I have in front of me as a slim variant in the special Days of Play limited blue edition. This blue color again, a piece of beautiful tech that ever since I saw this, I have always dreamt about having this someday. So I've been thinking about buying a PlayStation for quite some time. Now that the PlayStation 5 is also almost like 5 years, so I have been contemplating whether I go for a PlayStation 5 or a 6. And the crazy prices of 5 have sort of become a deterrent in making the decision. So I thought that I have not had a PlayStation ever, and I have not also been a avid gamer since like 12 13 years. So we have this PlayStation 4 that I followed some online reviews, and I felt that the kind of graphics and the kind of experience it delivers is sort of unmatched even by PlayStation 5 standards. So and this was available at a fairly reasonable price point, and at that price point it didn't make much of a confusion whether I should go for it or not. I definitely wanted to go for it, so I went ahead with it. And since I got this blue edition, which has always been my dream, I just couldn't resist myself from getting one. And yeah, if you don't want to get into the rest of the video, the summary of the video is this is the best device that you can go for if you want to have any sort of gaming experience. Right? There is nothing that can match the kind of performance it delivers. Whatever kind of assembly of PC that you do, this is by far unmatchable, the kind of quality it will deliver even in the year 2026, which is like 12 years since this device launched. And by the way, Sony is also ending its support. So yeah, jailbreaking and going for its full potential at a fraction or not even any cost also made a lot of sense to try out before I go for the PlayStation 6 where it launches. So jailbreaking a PlayStation 4 used to be a thing of the past, but now with the tools, with the JD Bail jailbreak exploit that has come out, it's just a piece of a cake. You just need to burn a simple Blu-ray disc and you insert in your PlayStation, and it is a all-in-one package, so everything will be ready by the time you turn your PlayStation on. I logged into the PlayStation with this jailbreak version. So the version that I got was a 12.52. 12.52 is a phenomenal version in terms of modding. So all sorts of support are available for this. So there is a misconception that with jailbreaking you are not allowed to connect to internet. You can, but you have to disable all sorts of automatic downloads. Then you also have to go back to power saving settings, and there is an option of disabling internet when it's in power saving or rest mode. So that also you have to disable. So all sorts of automatic connection to the internet is something that you should disable. And at the same time, most of you would be connecting to the internet also for the first time in a jailbreak device post whatever you see in the video. So just quickly go to notification and check if there is a pending update, and if so I didn't have any. If there are any, you have to stop and delete those. Right? Post that, you are ready to extract the full potential of this jailbroken PlayStation. It makes a lot of sense, guys. I mean, I am not someone who is in favor of piracy, but then this device is old. Like Sony has been selling it for like over 12 years, and they have sold over like 120 million units, and then multiple millions and millions, maybe into it will go into like billions, the number of CDs, discs that they would have sent for the devices. So I don't think it would matter to them if anyone would not be paying them for. They would not even have factored in like a 12 to 14 years of life cycle for a product. So in a way, in a scenario where there is hardly any PlayStation 5 available at a regular price point, all it is doing free marketing for Sony to people like us who had never considered buying this beforehand, right? So post jailbreak, like I mentioned, right, you can safely connect to the internet. I'll just connect it to the internet and show how this works, because I mean you would be able to play YouTube as well as view the various streaming services by installing the apps from the Homebrew store. And I'll just open YouTube and show how this works. So like I said, the PlayStation 4 can perform just like any of the normal set-top boxes. So that is one more use case that you might think of, well, you go for one. And it is probably one of the very few Blu-ray players also out there in the market, so it can play regular Blu-ray content also. So this is the library of apps and games that I have installed till date from the Homebrew store. So here you can see the Homebrew store. I'll just open and show what it looks like. So again, I just installed YouTube, so that's why it's showing up. So this has somewhere around 200 apps and some Homebrew games also from various indie providers that you can maybe try out and check. There are some also tools like file explorers, and I'll check over time whatever I need. So for now I have installed YouTube, Netflix and Apple TV from here. So this also comes with a browser, and there are also some PKG app stores available, but those need, I think, subscription. So maybe I'll try to figure out a way of downloading files and games directly on the PlayStation instead of, let's say, currently what I'm doing is I'm downloading on my Android device, then putting those files on a USB drive, and then using the USB drive to install the games or apps back into the PlayStation or to the external 1 TB hard drive that I just purchased. Now let's get into the main function of the PlayStation console, which are the games. So I'll try, let's say, 5 or 6 games here. I'll start off with Red Dead Redemption, and over period I'll also talk about what I have felt about the PlayStation 4. And to be honest, as someone who can buy the PlayStation 5 or even the 6 if it comes at a regular price, and someone who has not played games for some time but then is well aware of how games have been developing over the last 10 years, just go for this device. You will not regret it. Try it for 5-6 months, try it to the hell, and then go for the PlayStation 6 when it comes out. There is just no other suggestion that I can give. And even if you're able to buy this device at whatever, so the price for the PlayStation 4 is also hyped recently, reason being all this, I mean, whatever is happening around the globe regarding, I don't know, I mean, these are like peripheral effects of some core issue that's going on right now, right? These are old devices. Second-hand devices typically should not have much of an impact, but then yeah, these are also increased. I mean, what PlayStation 4s were available somewhere around 15 to 20,000 like 4-5 months back. Now these are available at around 20 to 25k. But even at that price point, it's a great device. You would just enjoy playing on it for whatever duration of time you keep it with you. The graphics are till this date mind-blowing. Just don't, I mean, I would honestly say, don't listen to anyone who is saying that this device has gotten old. Yeah, someone might call it PS4 instead of PS4 because this is a poor man's device, but irrespective of that, what should matter to someone is the gaming experience that the product delivers, and it does deliver. Even latest games like FIFA 2026, the World Cup that just ended, was one of the impetus behind me going for a PlayStation, because we can play FIFA on the PlayStation, and just look at the graphics. So even on the PlayStation 5 to someone who is a amateur gamer, there won't be much of a difference. the graphics is just mind-blowing. Apart from PlayStation 5, I don't think any PC build, any regular PC build of even around 70-80k would be able to match the kind of experience that this gives. And compared with the DualShock controllers, which provide so much of haptic feedback to whatever is happening on the game, you are in for a mind-blasting experience. Now post FIFA, I have installed a few games which are visually exhilarating. At the same time, I have intentionally skipped GTA 5 out because it's a very popular game. I mean, everyone would have seen visuals of it. Now let's get back to Days Gone. Again, a game that is not that much popular when it launched, but now due to its this more special motorcycling extravagant landscapes through which the visuals have been prepared, this game has got a cult following of its own. And my first experience has been wow, mind blown, just blown. Let's look at the visuals. Can you imagine a 12-year-old PC delivering these kind of visuals? Not in a dime. By the way, I am holding my iPhone 17 Pro in one hand and pressing the joysticks with the other hand. So please forgive me for driving like a crazy lunatic. But at the same time, just look at the way the physics of everything is working in the video. And so this is a full HD device and I am playing it on my 4K OLED TV. So there is no way you can tell from a watching distance that this is not 4K content. So the upscaling of the content is just mind-blowing. I don't know how much of it has to do with the TV and how much of it has to do with the PlayStation, but in overall case, you are just in for a visual treat. So the next game that I tried was Spider-Man, which is again one of the most popular franchises of PlayStation, again a PlayStation exclusive. But yeah, this is again one of the games which is not going to get the sequel on PS4. The Spider-Man 2 is not coming to PS4. It is already out there for PS5. But then just look at the visuals. Again, mind blown. So yeah, whoever, or I can see a lot of people on YouTube talking about that this device. So I can see arguments from both the sides that why you should go for it and why you shouldn't. But why you shouldn't, that argument is extremely bleak, and I don't know, I mean, what they would alternatively suggest someone to go for a 70,000 digital PS5 console which is already 5 years old, or go for a PC build that might have a graphics card that itself costs somewhere around a lakh rupees, right? So there is no other alternative at all. And just because there is no other alternative, don't think that you will not get something that would be a treat to your eyes. You will get it. And even if, let's say, you are not content with the device, just sell it off and you will purchase it in second hand, you will sell it off in second hand. So there is no scenario of losing out on anything. So even Sony is not at a loss, right? They don't make PlayStation 4 anymore. They don't make the PlayStation discs, right? And PlayStation 5 is already on scarcity, right? They're not even able to meet the demands of PS5. It's not that this PlayStation 4 are cannibalizing the sales of PS5, right? So in any case, what the PS4 is doing is basically doing free marketing for Sony, and also at the same time keeping all these users who would have never tried any Sony device, they're getting them hooked up into the PlayStation ecosystem. So everyone is at a win if they go for a PS4. So versions till firmware 13 and below, you can jailbreak easily. You don't need to pay premiums to, let's say, the retailers and get a jailbroken device. You can do it pretty much by yourself at home. Just upgrade the firmware to 12.52 and you don't even need to do any changes to your file system or the hardware. You just need to burn the ISO of GoldHEN in a Blu-ray's disc and just insert it in your drive. So, and that does the jailbreak for you. You can revert back to original as it is, and even if you revert back to the known jailbreak factory version, then also, I mean, the games are available for dirt cheap prices. Game bundles, I mean, people are selling them off in OLX and Facebook marketplaces. A single disc costs as low as 300-400 rupees. So whether you jailbreak or not, it doesn't make any difference, because even if you go for a physical disc, that money is also not going to Sony, and because these would also mostly be second-hand discs, and at the same time, Sony is also closing its online services by the end of this year. They were supposed to do so in January of this year itself, but they didn't do. I don't know if they extend or not. But anyway, these console games are mostly single player games that can be well enjoyed in offline mode, and there is nothing better than the PS4 that can provide the kind of experience that you would want from a really premium PC or the PlayStation 5 at this nominal price point. So the last game that you watched was Detroit Become Human. Again, visual, such a pleasure to even look at the visuals. So this is the whole lot of apps that I have installed on the device. Again, if I go into the store of applications, you would be able to see what all apps I currently have on my device. So I had filled up like the 500 GB with just 5 or 6 games, and I bought a second-hand hard drive that I am using from today. Again, with that hard drive, which is of a 1 TB one, I should be able to install another 15 odd games, and so that should be more than enough cover everything. And by the way, the person from whom that I bought the hard disk from, he was also using it as the backup drive of his PlayStation 4. So I missed one more game, so that I noticed on the App Store. Again, the apps do not show up on the launcher in a sequential way. It just shows up. I mean, the most recent app is the one that would show up the first. Right? I wish there was an option of arranging the apps better, but that's how it is, and no more upgrade is coming. So इतने पैसे में इतना ही मिलता है. That would have been the code, but then you get much more than what you pay for. So this is a way out, a dual player game where two-person, in this case me and my wife, sitting side by side can enjoy the game by being participants in the same game, where you can strategize together, and then so this would be like a real companionship that you do in real life. You are taking it up to the next level to a game. I didn't know that a game like this existed, but then I have figured out there are multiple games on PlayStation 4 that you can enjoy with a companion sitting with you. Right, so I'll be trying to figure out those games, because then Olivia can also enjoy the games with me. And talking about the other companions, the rest of the games are still a bit far-fetched for my two toddlers, but the racing games are the ones that they can easily pick up. So this is Gran Turismo that I am running on the PlayStation, and these are the two babies. They were able to accelerate as well as change the directions using the toggle stick, and both the babies were I mean, having their time enjoying the game. So again, just like the previous games that I have already shown, the visuals are of another level, right? Who would call this a 12-year-old console? So with that, I have mostly, I think, given you a view on what to expect when you get the PS4. Don't expect anything. You will be getting like 1,000 times more than whatever you would have expected, right? So till the time these stocks are available from your local game shop or from sites like Game Nation. I got it from a site called games and gadgets. So they have a physical store in Bangalore. So first I connected over number that was given on their website, and then I reached out to them. They told me there is a physical store near HSR layout, and there is one more at Kamanahalli. So, and I checked out for limited editions, and they said this one is available. And given that I was smitten by the color of the Days of Play blue version ever since I first noticed it, I straight away went for it. So that's the video, guys. Hope you liked it. If there are any queries or anything that you want to know about the PlayStation 4, just drop a comment. I will definitely reply. If you want to understand how to use it normally or with a jailbreak, if you need any query on what all support materials are available, let me know. Thank you.